You know, I've noticed the two loves groups I've ever encountered in my time on this earth are that of proud vegans and anti-musical folk. Now listen, as a man who grew up with Rillios, Berts, Sanfrantellos, and Beggars, I think my stance in the first is clear. Cheese is godly. But I've been a fan of music my whole life, since my younger years following the great Dick Biondi. If you can make a solid musical or a great rock opera and put it within the horror genre, well, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. So listen, if you don't dig these types of movies, cool. Thanks for the click, but I do. And today I'd like to venture into a post-apocalyptic world where surgery is considered art, the reduction of pain is a high commodity, and set around some of the most passionate performances, since Ted Neeley let you know how to do the high G. Today I'm digging into Darren Bousman's cult classic, Repo The Genetic Opera. For the uninitiated, Repo tells the story of a time in the not-too-distant future, where an outbreak of organ failure devastates the population. Up from those ashes comes GeneCo, a corporation that facilitates organ replacements. Only as a good business does, they lobbied Congress and got a bill passed that allows organ repossessions. So if you're delinquent on your payments, a GeneCo employee, contracted repo man, takes back said organs. Business, baby. If you're into rock operas and one with a big heart and a shit ton of gore, then pause this, check out Repo and meet me back here. For the rest, let's go. Created by Terrence Dunich and Darren Smith, Repo The Genetic Opera came from Terrence and Darren doing these 10-minute operas. The one that got the most attention was The Necro Merchant's Debt. Taking the idea of an organ repo man, things were evolved to include more songs, and eventually tweaked, altered, and eventually became Repo The Genetic Opera. Now listen, I'm kind of speeding and paraphrasing through this, but only because it brings us to the present, which here is 2008. When engaging in a rock opera, what makes the classics stand out above the rest? Jesus Christ Superstar, The Wall, Phantom of the Paradise. It's their unwillingness to fold under any perceived notion of silliness. If you have the music to back your story up, there is a required sense of confidence that you must have. I mean, think about it like this. Carl Anderson gave his all as the wise and reasonable Judas.
Someone had to turn you in.
Tim Curry was.
Sweet transvestite.
Anthony Head took organs and belted with a fiery passion, becoming Nathan the Repo Man. What really sells this ambitious, and maybe overly ambitious movie is the commitment of everyone involved. Alexa Vega plays Shiloh, the sick and quarantined daughter of Nathan. Now she acts as a sort of conduit for the audience. She learns about the outside world the first time, as do we. Now stuff like this could come off kind of corny, but she leans on her voice, her big brown eyes, and absolutely owns it. Her pop-punk song, 17, featuring Joan Jett, is catchy and rocking, while Vega performs it with all the pizzazz of an actual rock star. It's a really fun number that deviates in a more modern pop-punk style, compared to the rest of the film, but it fits easily into the fold of all these sort of different musical genres. Take Bill Moseley's Luigi. Oh man, this guy's great.
Shut the fuck up!
One of the three kids of Roddy Largo, the owner and founder of GeneCo. I mean, he's an absolute maniac, and if we're being honest, Moseley doesn't have much, range. But makes up for it with 110% investment into the batshit crazy Luigi.
I'll tell you why, you fucking face!
His song with Pavi Largo, Ogre from Skin Puppy, is so goofy and over the top, it is an instant classic. I mean, the nurse and Luigi wants to put his dick in a hole, homemade or not.
I will find a hole and fuck it.
I mean, of everybody in this movie, Moseley's portrayal is the scene stealer. Luigi is such a grade A dick. Listen, I can't tell you how often I replayed this part where he demands coffee and gets offered decaf.
Decaf?
I will shoot you in the face.
Okay, bye. One more time with feeling.
Decaf?
I will shoot you in the face.
Repo holds up in the world of rock operas because Terrence and Darren wrote with a heavy hand of satire. and then wisely mixed in gore. Now, it's YouTube, so I can't show you much, but a heart retrieval and a disembowelment have a charm no matter the movie, only here it's set to some damn fine music. Its comedic approach gives enough levity, though there is heart, and we'll get to that it almost makes up for any shortcomings by always having fun with the plot, usually with operatic dialogue. Director Darren Bousman has a great visual eye. I mean, hell, I'd probably argue that Saw 2 is superior to the first. And he, Mr. Bousman, is an avid lover of musicals and rock operas. He knew the assignment and delivered on all fronts. I mean, clearly this isn't a giant budget movie, but Bousman plays within the sandbox well, and things have this really cool, distinct look. There's a haze, this underlining blue tone. I mean, coming in around $8 to $9 million budget isn't a lot, but Bousman used every penny, every trick he had to bring this world to life. Using the comic book animation to delve into the complicated backstories and the futuristic problems felt stylistically appropriate and was a wise choice, bearing the budget, while his blocking gave the music energy and pop. Think of the song Zydrate Anatomy, right? As Terrence describes as a dark nursery rhyme. Now this thing takes place only in this tight alley. Yet Bousman uses it to tell the history of the painkiller, get a couple girls off, and Paris Hilton is great here, by the way, while using every corner of the set to give it a sense of momentum. A lesser director would have messed this scene up. It could have easily become boring, but here, it might be the fan favorite of the movie.
Zydrate comes in a little glass vial.
Night Surgeon is another example of great blocking and camera work with a hilariously gory ending. And again, Head deserves all the credit. That man f***ing owns it here.
And I am lost without you here.
Growing up with Buffy, I guess I never really see him as a villain in a way. In this, man, this is his movie. Though I can't really show any of the music on YouTube. I will say the music here is tight, melodic, and we get a lot of bangers. A mix of industrial, heavy metal, pop, and rock. Repo The Genetic Opera was able to meld genres while never feeling tacked on, which is impressive, because me personally, there's some of these genres I don't actually dig. It's not my thing, but as a good composer and a good writer and a good director, you could make things work that wouldn't normally. Now, obviously, the music talent of Terrence and Darren can't be denied, but they were also wise enough to surround themselves with the right musicians and producers. I'm laughing at Luigi's maniac personality, yet I'm 100% emotionally involved with Shiloh and her father Nathan. When he dies in her arms at the end, signifying the change of the guard, the end of her prison, right? And they're both singing, "I didn't know I love you so much." I mean, man, would have thought that type of heart would shine through so well. Yet, it did.
But I didn't know I love you so much.
I didn't know I love you so much.
Night Surgeon rocks hard as Head's voice is perfect, while Paulie Cicero himself, the late great Paul Sorvino, can not only actually sing, but does a full-on opera. Listen, maybe I missed some sort of memo. I had no idea the guy could sing, but dude, Paul has the voice of an angel. And of course, let's not forget the smooth baritone that is Terrence Zdunich, who sets the tone of the whole movie, both soulful and metal. Terrence's voice fits perfectly in between the softness of Vega, the passion of Head, and the power of Sorvino. And in the end, Repo The Genetic Opera's only flaw is its small budget. And I appreciate the effort to work within it, but listen, at times it does feel the story is a bit too big for the money had, and could have used a few extra million. But you know what, listen, that's not the business, and that's not how it works. And Repo may at times punch above its weight, but the directing and music hold up and transcend the trap of time. It's the heart of the filmmaking that makes it a modern classic. If I can't convince you of its brilliance, and after all of this you still have doubt, may I let the gentleman by the name of Bill Moseley try his hand.
Shut the fuck up! I will shoot you in the face!
Seems like the world is moving on. Didn't stop to look around. Didn't give a shit if you're crashing down. You can close your eyes but not your skin. Don't believe what you refuse to see. Won't find a way in. Well, I can't ignore a certain fate. The result of people fighting every day.
Somebody's got to do it. Skinning off the muscles, too.